All right, this is going to be a really fun test. Pistol crossbow versus pistol. And what I have here is a 50-pound pistol crossbow. I don't remember the brand name. I think it's, there it is, PSE Viper. $40 crossbow, just a really simple setup. And what I have for bolts, just these basic plastic and pointy tip bolts. These bolts weigh 107 grains. So I thought, what pistol do I have that's really an average pistol that's going to have ammunition that's close to 107 grains? And what do we have? 4-inch barrel Ruger Security 9mm, 115 grain full metal jacket. These are just basically the cheapest full metal jacket 9mm rounds I have that are closest in weight to these solid pointy tip bolts. So it's going to be a really interesting test to see how these two stack up to each other. So we're going to go through the chronograph and we're going to see what kind of velocity we have at the same time as accuracy with those pistol crossbow bolts. And then we'll also do it over here with the 9mm. And then we're going to go through the Juggernaut box, which contains a 1 3/4 inch pack of bologna covered by 4 layers of denim, followed by 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard. This is really my standard go-to ballistic test medium. It works really well. And if you saw my test with the slingshot, it just bounced right off this. So this is a really good representation of like a pectoral muscle covered in fabric. It's really tough stuff to penetrate. And even my kid's bow, it's like a 25-pound bow that has those round nose tips, whatever you want to call them. They're not field tips, practice tips. Bounced off that as well. So that pack represents about, I believe it's 6 inches of ballistics gel if you compare it to that. And then each water jug after that represents about 3 inches of gel. So typically when we have like hollow point ammunition, most calibers stop in jug 3 or 4. So let's see how these two compare to each other. This is going to be a really fun test. So let's get started. All right, let's get our average velocity. This pistol crossbow is really interesting. Basically, you just push a button and hold up here, and this thing cocks back like that. Has a safety that automatically engages. Just load our bolts in here. You're supposed to put wax on the string every few shots, and I did that before I came out. And then we just disengage the safety and fire. I'm about 5 yards from the target. I found that just the basic 1911 pistol grip style grip works pretty well for me, but also has a foregrip up here. So let's see what we get for velocity and accuracy here. We are about 5 yards from the target. $191. Not too bad. $119, that was rather low. Might just be the way I put the bolt in there. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't put it snugly enough against the string. Make sure to do that. $214. So yeah, I'm going to throw out that one because I think I did something wrong. $192. $116. So I don't know. Those numbers aren't quite right with two of those readings. I'm just going to say that the average is going to be of those high ones because there's a potential issue going on here. I know that's probably not the most fair thing to do, but that's what I'm going to do. So let's see how the 9mm compares. All right, 9mm pistol. Let's see what we get here. 1108. 1107. Wow. I don't normally have that happen with 9mm. Failure to eject. 1090. 1081. 1162. One more. 1107. So pretty powerful cartridge overall for a 9mm Luger, especially for the Full Metal Jacket. Typically Full Metal Jackets are a little bit slower than that, and this is Winchester forged, so pretty good. Well, let's hit that ballistic box and let's just see if these bolts can even make it into that baloney pack. If not, I think I'll remove the fiberboard for two reasons. But the main reason is because when we're talking about something like a crossbow bolt, you know, the fiberboard represents like ribs, like solid ribs. And if you were to miss a rib, get between ribs, or make a stomach shot, that would make a difference, and removing that fiberboard will simulate that. So let's get started with the test and see how both of these do. All right, first up we have the crossbow. I might do this test multiple times just in case we have one of those weird readings where the velocity just happened to be really slow, just to give it a fair chance. So let's see how this does with the fiberboard. See how far it penetrates. All right, did a lot better than the slingshot, that's for sure, because we penetrated the thing. There is no mark out the back, but we went through that denim, which is very, very tough, and it looks like it just hit the fiberboard and stopped on the fiberboard. Let's try it again. All right, I'm gonna wax the string. It says to wax the string or barrel every 3 to 4 shots, something like that. And I have a brand new bolt that has not been fired yet. And we'll see if that makes any difference at all in its performance. All right, try it again. All right, looks to me to be about the same. Yeah, it did the same thing. So let's take off this fiberboard here. Let's first of all look at it and see what happened here. It looks like there's only one fiberboard impact, and it barely touched it. So let's take that off, and this will be a simulation of not hitting a rib or sternum or anything like that, hitting a well-clothed, probably winter clothing, representation with all that denim, into basically a stomach shot. See what this does. We got him. Interesting, that made it through okay. One more test here. I want to take off this denim because I think the denim makes more difference than anything else. Let's just say this is a bare-chested attacker. And we'll see what it does this way. I think this will make a difference. Yeah, significant difference. So I'm going to try to pull this whole jug out if I can. And it's almost, the bolt's almost touching the back of that jug. So as we can see, even with crossbow bolts, denim or clothing make a big difference, and hard barriers make a difference. That's interesting. Now I think there's, hear me out, there's one more test I think needs to be done here. And that would be finding out how lethal this would be if it were just hit this, which this definitely would represent about a skull. because I think that could do some serious damage against something like that. So let's see how this does against a simulated skull. This might ricochet, but I hope not. So as you can see, we entered here. I'm going to try to peel this back so you can see it. It went through it. It definitely went through it. So that would be a serious wound you'd probably want to have checked out at the emergency room if you were hit with one of these. And by the way, I think this is actually probably even more dense than a real human skull. So yeah, still a pretty lethal weapon. Now let's see how that 9mm compares. All right, 9mm Luger, this is interesting. I think I've only ever tested one Full Metal Jacket 9mm in my ballistic box, and it was a weaker round than this, so it'll be interesting to see what this will do. So through the baloney pack, we definitely went through everything here. Not a huge amount of damage compared to like a hollow point bullet, but we definitely punctured right through it. All right, jug 1. A good amount of damage, just a little bit of fiberboard coming through. Jug 2, massive amount of damage here. It almost looks like a 380 hollow point as far as the damage. As we expected, we went through 3. Looks like we barely punched through 4, impact in 5 for sure. We went through 5. I went through all 6. And it looks like we probably impacted that back stop, so I'll dig through that and see if I can find that bullet. Alright, I have a bed pillow back there. I dug around for a long time, was not able to recover that bullet. I don't see any exits out the back of it, but so it's got to be in there, but it's a lot deeper than most rounds are. Even 357 and 44 Magnum hardcast did not get that deep. And that's one of those things about 9mm Full Metal Jacket. It's known for being one of the best penetrators because there's just enough energy and just enough of that nose profile to really punch through, but there's just enough less that the bullet doesn't deform and it just keeps going. So I kind of expected that, didn't find that. Now a couple more tests here I want to do. These should be kind of fun. All right, some of you probably guessed it, 50 yard shooting. I have my metal tank for the gun and then my archery target for the pistol crossbow. I have no idea if I can even hit with that pistol crossbow, but we'll see what we do with the 9mm at that range. And this ammo is giving me a double feed again. It's steel cased ammo, that's why I think. Typically this pistol is really reliable. But with this ammo it just doesn't seem to like it, but we did hit at 50 yards. Double feed again. I'm a little bit to the right there. See if I can keep going with this. Another double feed. Alright, I've had it with this pistol. There's a couple more. Yeah, I pulled those on purpose. Let's try the pistol crossbow and see how that compares. And I got a few bolts on me. I don't, you know, if I don't catch these, they're gone for good for sure. But I'm going to aim right on it and just see what it does. See what kind of drop there is, if I can even see the bolts, because these are kind of not the best color for this environment. Yeah, I can't see it at all. But my guess is that it's dropping pretty significantly. So I'm gonna see if I can hear it. Try to get the best vision I can get here, just to try to track this. I'm gonna aim above it. This will be my last shot because I don't want to just throw these away. These bolts, they are fun in the garage when I can't shoot my guns. I'll aim even higher. I saw where that hit. I aimed about 5 feet high, and we saw it hit quite a bit lower. So one more test and then we'll be done with this. This last part will be really fun. All right, my last test, I want to hit a couple cans of soda, true slow motion, just to see what these look like. This should be fun. I was really surprised that the pistol crossbow impacted here. It kind of blew it out and it just went straight through this. I was not expecting it to go through it. The 9mm pistol, on the other hand, blew that can apart even with the full metal jacket. So pistol crossbow versus pistol, are they comparable? Absolutely not. However, this pistol crossbow did significantly better in a lot of ways than the slingshot did in my previous test. So I'd say this is probably a little bit better of an option than a slingshot, depending on what you're wanting to do with it. The main takeaway from this is that if you're any go with a pistol at all, any type of handgun, this shoots relatively easily and well. So you don't have to have any archery skill. As long as you know how to shoot a handgun, you can shoot this relatively well. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.